Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4's World Ablaze mod. Learning a lot about this, and we are getting very, very ready for Fall Gelb, which was, well, we're not going to be doing specifically Monstein's plan. Probably a bit more like the historical plan. But we will see how this all goes. The one that they wanted to do prior to Fall Gelb. Right. All right. We are currently mobilizing the workforce. We want to shift a lot of these. I was going to talk about it, and then I decided not to talk about it, and I'm going to end up talking about it. I am still upset with the way political power and all of this works. I would love for Uncharted to fix things for his mod. I mean, we can't fix things for the standard one. I don't think it should take political power to fill all or most of these things for the majors. Now, maybe something like this, because most don't have a scientific theorist, I guess is what this would be called, as opposed to a, standard industrialist. Most of the majors, and this is what can determine some of the difference between them, should start with an air company pick. And it should be the one that, in certain judgments, hey, Niagara, hey, Eric, we'll be playing soon in about 2 hours. Playing Retro Bowl. Cool. Don't know the game, but sounds cool. Snoopy. And they should, these, okay, Falk Wolf, I don't really think existed as a significant company in 1936. Heinkel certainly did. Messerschmitt. Messerschmitt. BF. I don't know. We could talk about Messerschmitt as well, but Heinkel, Junkers, Dornier. So pick the one, and it should take political power to switch out these positions, because see, I can't fill all these positions here, and I'm pissed. And I need political power for other things, and I get the idea. I totally get and agree from, and they were particularly looking at, things like ministers, military staff, and, the way they're using the companies here. Is you don't, every time you switched out a minister in real life, it's sort of disruptions of politics. You switch out, do major switches in doctrine or whatever for your army or your air force or whatever, that causes disruptions. And so you can't just min-max it, constantly jumping back and forth as you will, that there's a cost. And I agree with that. That is a good thing to have. But you should start with a relatively full cabinet and such, and not try to fill it as you go along. And you use political power to make changes from that. It's about football where you try to win the Super Bowl. Okay, cool. And Arno's here as well. Hello, my friend. Okay, so we are getting ready to go after Invade the West, Operation Gelb here. We'll get attack bonuses for 30 days against the Low Countries. We can then later do Fall Rot, which is to go in after the French. And of course, Weserbung. Weserbung, I think I want to give you to there, is definitely of a lesser importance. It's going to take some Navy. Seeing the French. I think I'm going to wait to, we're going to do this a little out of historical order. The multiplayer will be starting in about 2 hours, Arno. The guys are over, most of them, all except for, it looks like, 1 or 2 are sort of waiting in the wings because one person has to get home from work and eat dinner and whatnot, so we're having to delay it. So we will be doing that in a while. All right. This is going to be my learning experience invading. There's the Low Countries. So let's. Okay. We've just declared war on all of these little areas and. Okay. Now, this division will head up around that way. This division will head that way. There, this one will attack there. These two will attack here. These two will attack here. Push into the Netherlands. Into Amsterdam, I should say. These two also will push to Amsterdam. Yes, World War II has begun. Well, no, actually, yeah. Okay. You come out and visit Arno. You guys here. You come right like that. You two divisions attack Eppen. Now, you Panzer divisions come right like that, along with one of the motorized, and the other motorized just come to here. Oh, you know, well, maybe. I'm changing this. Now you come to here, and over to here. One of the Panzer divisions come to here. Cross here, push here. See if we can get into. Those two attack there, along with these guys. Now, they go into there. These guys come this way, and the Horsey division, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. You come that way. Guderian gets to come through here and try to get across Sedan, and then we're going to take the first two divisions, and we're going to try to go that way. Armored divisions, and then we're going to take these other two and try to go to here. And then we're going to take these two motorized divisions, come to Sedan and go that way. And these two try to get across here. I'm not sure if there's anybody down there in Metz, but these guys are going to come here and specifically try to attack there to delay anybody coming north, and these guys will come here. I'm sure Lum, who is getting ready to play me is going to be much, much smarter than this AI. So I expect it to be much more of a challenge. You guys start moving up here, and you guys move to here. Okay. So let's see how this... Still got those guys. I haven't wanted to see... Okay. Okay, so there is somebody back here. Oh, we need to slow this down, at least to there. Okay, Luxembourg has already capitulated, as Luxembourg had no real army. All it was an industrial center, basically, at this time. Okay, one division attacked there just to delay movement. Yep, you're joining the Allies. Luxembourg joins the Allies after it's defeated, yes. Okay, you guys have made it into here. You can push up that... Oh, no. Up to there. You can push into there. Now, the big difference between what we're doing and Gelb, I'm sure there's lots of little, differences of how strong the different pushes are. But the conceptual difference was that most of this push was a foot infantry army that used horses as transport. Yes, most German divisions had some motorized transports, the old Kubelwagens or Opel Blitz trucks. But especially in 1940, very many divisions had very few of those, and often, and even Kubelblitzes in 1940 were something of a rare thing. So they had other vehicles in their inventory, but very limited. Most were using horse-drawn, artillery pieces, anti-tank guns, or wagons for supplies. And so they're not moving very fast. And some of the terrain was difficult to get through. And it was known that the Allies had a plan to, at least, and they were. I think the Allies were unsure as to what was going to happen with the Netherlands. Was it going to be like World War I, and they get to be neutral, or whether they were going to be brought into it? But the idea was to rush up. There was a fortified line up here to rush up and defend Belgium. So the bulk, I would say, of the British Expeditionary Force was motorized. At least they weren't, and I say that because I'm trying to judge how I'm wording what I'm saying. I'm not saying it was fully motorized divisions in which every single man and every single supply element could all get in the trucks at the same time and drive somewhere. But they weren't, and that's sort of one extreme. I don't know that, I know that there were definitely units like that. But on the other extreme, they weren't using any horses. So it's some of the in-game terms, sort of semi-motorized, in that the division, shall we say, sometimes they were corps assets, sometimes they were division assets, sometimes they were, battalion assets, had trucks. And so to shift a battalion or whatever, they used the trucks to load up all the infantry and load their immediate supplies and ammo and towed guns and move them somewhere. And then those trucks may the next day go get either a different battalion or go get a bunch of supplies and move them. So the trucks are shifting around multiple jobs, not always attached to a particular unit. Now, some units, like I say, some units, they definitely work. So it's a much more rapid moving force, and they use some of the more professional French units. And that distinction is in the French government fears the professional army. And by professional, I mean career soldiers, not draftees in for, their normal service. I don't know, it's probably, I'm guessing 18 months, 2 years, and then, go back to civilian life. Now, of course, that they then go form the reserves, and those divisions have been called up for this war. And now they are all being called up here. Seeing a bit of a slow up there because they're counterattack. They're coming. All right, these guys. We're going to. Okay, but you rush up this way. And so what they wanted to do, originally it was something sort of like this plan, in that they were going to push like this along a broad front and swing around in sort of, Schlieffen plan style into Paris. Well, Manstein figured that they could move through here, and what we're seeing, the French coming up and trying to occupy in through here. They wanted to kick this off, wait for a while, wait for the forces to get up here, and then launch the armored forces to cut them off. But yes, the Schlieffen plan. So they wanted a modified version of that for this. But Manstein wants to get the British Army and the more professional French forces up into here and then come and cut them off. Well, we're not going to give them that time because we're going to try to rush for Paris. So everybody joining us or joining in the war as our enemies. Okay, so we've pushed into here. You guys come this way. You keep going to Amsterdam. Maybe we can knock the Dutch out. You go there. You go there. So we have the French with some heavy armor already there. Uh-oh. They push us back here with their heavy armor. You keep coming up this way. Oh, you. Support that attack. Yeah, we'll let them join the war, and we'll let these guys join the war. Two better organized divisions attack there. The other division move this way. Keep the pressure up. You guys can come that way. Cross over. No. You guys. Where are you guys? Yeah, you're going in the right direction. Okay, well. You guys attack down into there. Now this has massively been stalled down here, which I'm disappointed in. You support that attack. Okay, now that we've got Amsterdam, let's push towards The Hague with a couple of divisions. You guys can push that way. You guys, well, one of you stay, the other one goes that way. Well, our river crossing has not worked out as well as I'd hoped. Okay, we've just taken out the Netherlands. Got almost 5,000 Johnson M41s. I don't know why. Okay, whatever. Some heavy weapons, 800, and 1,200 other pieces of equipment of varying degrees of usefulness. Okay, I presume. You push here. Okay, well, now that they beaten off that counterattack, you guys try to get across this river, and yes, the motorized division keeps up with them. You guys move to here. You guys move to here. Yep, the Dutch have been knocked out of the war. They get to have a peaceful rest of the war. They should be happy. We got them peace. This rifle's only limited numbers, and yeah, in the Dutch East Indies, you should have gotten the M95 carbines and the M95 rifles. Yep, you're right, Arno. I didn't know the exact model of their rifles, but yeah, that sounds right. Okay, you push down to here. Well, okay, yeah, that's fine. You push into there. We need to keep the pressure up. Okay, a lot of French heavy armor. One division, because getting across that river is important, but we also want to push here. Okay, the fight here has ended. Or their attack north here has ended. Let's push into here, though that may be super well defended, yes. But partially we're just doing that pure, to pin the forces in location and not that we think it's a smart attack. Can you move up there to... Well, I'm leaving a scattering of forces to defend our rear here. I know I have those two cores, or super cores. Right. Okay, they push to there now. One division, and these guys are gonna push this way. These guys move to there. You guys can move down to there. Let's move this up to there. Where we are attacking and counter-attacking all at the same time. Keep the pressure up on Antwerp. Hey, Rick, it's been a while. which generals are we using? Well, you can see down here. And Daniel. Hello, Daniel. Do you even have Ernst Bausch? I'm not sure whether he's in the game. Here we can see Rendulic, the Blaskowitz, Falkenhurst, who's sitting up in the north, List, and Kuchler, and this is Lieb, von Lieb. That's the field marshal here. Reichenau, Dietl, he's sitting up here doing nothing at the moment. I'm sort of thinking about attacking Norway. Strauss, Heinrich, and yeah, here's Ernst Bausch right here. We are using him, and of course we have von Rundstedt as field marshal. And over in this theater here, just to keep this from getting too long, we've got Rommel, von Manstein, Guderian under von Kleist as our Panzer Corps. Well, these are my three favorite German generals from history. And I'll tell you why. Guderian, not alone. He didn't sit and come up. I know there's some that are, you know, revisionist histories that want to downplay his importance in it. But he is the guy, in my opinion, at the center of developing combined arms warfare, what we sort of call the Blitzkrieg. But it's, you know, it's tanks operating with artillery and infantry and, you know, motorized reconnaissance and, yes, you know, aircraft. He's coming up with it. Yeah, sort of overseen in a way by von Kleist, I would say, but really it's Guderian. He's coming up with that. So he's a theorist, like B.H. Littleheart, like others out there. But he's also, we also see him very well in command. So he's both a good military theorist and a good practical frontline commander. Very good. Von Manstein. Similarly, he is actually, you know, a very good, we see him, you know, with Fall Gelb, a very good strategist working with, you know, figuring out grand strategies, figuring out strategies as, and, you know, I call myself here, dressed for my haircut, but, well, Daniel, I normally stream stuff starting approximately 30 minutes before this time on Saturdays, and approximately 30 minutes after this time on Sundays, and Sundays is normally War Thunder. So Saturdays and Sundays are my normal stream days here. You know, I call myself an armchair general. That's because I sit and look at maps and read history books and whatnot and play war games. And in my war games, I can do pretty well. That doesn't mean I'm a practical field general. That doesn't mean that I have and I don't, you know, have the skills of how to get a division from point A to point B in a military sense. What orders do I need to give and when to have the reconnaissance start doing the reconnaissance duty, to make sure that the supplies are kept up. There's all that kind of stuff, elements of being a general. And then there's also, shall we say, and which I'm looking at for all three of these guys, is reading a battlefield to, you know, because I'm looking here and I'm getting really nice, clear signals as to what attacks are successful and what are not. That isn't the case in reality. It's, you got to sort of have that feeling of, is now the time to attack, now the time to withdraw. Schroner and they do have student, and Schroner, I don't know if he's here yet. I think he is, and I may even be using him in, no, I don't think I'm using Schroner yet, but yeah, student is in there. I just don't have any airborne forces for student to airborne with. is to read the battlefield. And these three guys, I think, read the battlefield excellently. But so you can get back to the point. You can be a very good planning general. A guy who sits back, whether it's in the Wolf's Lair or, 50 years later, and they should have done this, they should have done that, and, plan out operations. That's one thing. The other thing, like I say, is to be getting out there and into action and having operations happen in the field. Well, von Manstein can definitely do both. He can do really good planning and organization and get out there on that battlefield and operate. Rommel. We never see Rommel fight properly as a high command. I know he's created a field marshal in North Africa, and eventually he's given Panzer Armee Africa, an army instead of just a corps. But even then, and by that time, obviously, he's taken over away from Comando Supremo of the Italian army. So, most of the North Africa stuff, he's either in fact, though often disobeying orders, or in theory under the command of the Italians. So we don't see him really in higher commands. We sort of see it in Tunisia, but that's sort of a rush job to get forces down. Yeah, it doesn't work out, but I still rate him very highly. For a while, before the Allies landing in Sicily, he is in command of the German sort of defenses in northern Italy for a while, just sort of like to keep him sort of in the Mediterranean for press purposes, really. Sort of like when they had Patton as commanding, sort of a false army in Britain. That's sort of what he was doing there. And then, of course, later on you have Rommel under the command of von Rundstedt, preparing for the, eventual D-Day landings. But we never see him really command there, and he's always hampered by von Rundstedt. So we don't know, so he's number 3. It's sort of hard for me to pick. I just sort of like Guderian better, but I think these guys are about equally good. We just don't see Rommel as a high, at a high command that we see the other two at, as in properly commanding what would be armies. These guys commanded armies, which are multiple corps, but significant multiple corps, and army groups for a while with Manstein. Groups of armies. Okay. Okay, thank you. It's been a while since I've watched one of your streams, but still. Okay, thank you, Daniel. Very good. Mouses and Krebs. Krebs, maybe. I'm not sure. Can anyone make a good plan, or anyone can make a good plan and a great plan given enough time? Well, I don't know about anyone, but good, talented people can. And it's something that can be a more learned process. Sure, experience, learning is important to read a battlefield, but I think there's something sort of innate in people's judgments because you're getting all that stuff. What did we shoot down? We shot down a UFO, everyone, over Alaska area. Let me just quickly look here because Rick is asking. These are our current available generals here that are not being used. Hoth, Paulus, Hopner, Student, Mackinson, Kesselring, Warner, Kempf, Ballack, Weiss, Heil, Reinhardt, Schultz, Schroner. We do have Schroner down here. These are the guys. Oh, well, we have a few more down here that are not being used. Engsler, Bach, Holm. That's what's currently. I think some more will be showing up later as the time goes on. Maximilian von Welsch for almost no other reason than his name alone. Cool, Larry. Yeah. Really do a deep dive into him. You can at least read a Wikipedia article on him. I don't know if somebody may have written a biography. I have a book called Hitler's Generals that gives sort of a chapter on a lot of, not necessarily too big of a chapter, decent multiple pages, but on a lot of the prominent generals. I mean, there's so many generals, they don't, you know, so many divisional generals in the, you know, in Germany, World War II. They don't go into those, but a lot of the sort of notable ones like him. It was way smaller, but nothing else is being said about what it was. Why don't they use Bach? Well, okay, now some people maybe sort of because sometimes, like now, student, of course, he can be both a general in the high command and on the field, where Hadler is just in the high command. We've got Brauhitsch already assigned, so some, and Kleist assigned in Rudstedt. So some guys get both slots, some guys just get one. So I don't know. You know, I don't specifically know why. Okay, well, I don't know how big the thing was. And now a balloon... well, the balloon part might be big, but... the payload part may be sort of small with some of these things. So... all I've officially heard is an unidentified object, which I'm it was observed, supposedly from what I've heard, the object was observed by a F-35 to be something that was up there and that it was unmanned, and then they had an F-22 shoot it down. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true. Again, I'm just going by here. Okay, we want to keep these motorized units moving. Oh, well, Antwerp is being a bit of a pain. No, this way, I think. You move back forward. You're coming to here. You're coming to Liège. Good. Now that they have been broken, we're going to send Rommel in a very rapid movement around here, specifically to get cut off. No, but you move into here. We move down this way to here, and specifically to try not to get cut off. You come that way. You come down that way. Well, they're starting to shift forces away from here a bit. So we're just going to take one division to make probing attacks, pinning attacks. Yeah, maybe it was an alien. Well, grab the first 3 divisions here. Move them this way. Second 3 divisions. Let's move them that way. Let's do the next 3 divisions. Move them into Brussels. Okay, it looks like we're getting across the Meuse there. Okay, we're mobilizing the workforce. Now, we are severely low on manpower, so we're going to go over to extensive conscription, which will take us from 2.5% population the population to 4%. So 1.5% of the population greater for determining our size of our conscription base, Army, Air Force, whatever. Okay, we could do this, we could do this, or we can come over here. Where was it? Oh, we could do this. This will allow us to form the general government in Poland, but we need a lot of manpower to do that. About 80,000. So we've got our manpower right now. So we want to let our conscription go for a while before forming that. So I think we will go with getting Wehrmacht Shelfharen, basically women's help for the military. Okay. Yep. Rommel got delayed by troops moving into there. These guys here are doing well. So, let's push towards Paris. You guys come across the river. You guys get across the river. You guys keep moving this way. Two of you attack here to delay their movements. Oh, they've been pushed back already. You guys get to come up again. You guys come here. Now, supply is much more important than I'm used to in this game. So, we'll see how all this goes. You push north. You push there. Yeah, you hold right where you're at. Okay, you're to create a ball Gelb like pocket there. In those forces, even if we can't readily take Antwerp, but still better to pin them than allow them to have unfettered well, okay, we don't need that division hanging out of there, so you keep moving this way. Here, these guys are going to move right up this railway to Lille. Let him get a little more organized before we... Alright, well. Now, what we're gonna do... Oh, we don't have enough. Damn, I hate this political power bullshit. But it's, I mean, like I say, they've just overdone it. Okay, you guys come down into here. You guys come into here. You guys come this way. Okay, well, good. Let's take a quick look. I know this is exciting and all what's going on. Okay, the Chinese have pushed the Japanese back up to Meizheng and their little special puppet district there, but the Japanese have created a large area there and two smaller ones down here. How interesting. Okay, that's the other major war going on. They're still fighting here in Finland. Now, over here. Okay. Division, this division, you guys push. Armor, motorized, and one infantry division go that way. You guys push on there. You guys push that way. And you support that. Crossing there. Oh, come on. I want to keep pushing on Amsterdam. 6 whole divisions there. Go for it, guys. Go for it. Alright, you can attack into there. Oh good, you've made it to here, so you can push to there. Looks like we're pushing down. The Dunkirk path here. Alright, now push up from here. Alright, and there, that's sort of stalled out. Okay, well, we're on the... Well, let's see if we can actually get into Paris. You delay their movements. You come down this way. You push there. Oh, Rhaegar. Try to survive in Norta. I don't know the game. Hello, Tom Gaming. How you doing? Okay, so we've snatched Paris, though we're very unorganized, and they may push us back out. You push this way. You push. No. This way. Wall of Paris, yay. It looks like we've sort of taken and held Paris. Okay, you push into there, you push along there. No, you come up to there. You join the battle for Antwerp. Italy seeks to join the Axis. They want access to the Axis. Yes. We will take that. We'll get that in. Waiting till February to watch the new episodes of Murder Drones. Okay, don't know the game or the show. All right, so we've got Italy, and now they may decide to go to war. We'll see how this goes. I sort of hope they don't just yet. Just think about moving you across the river to there. Across the Seine. So we've opened up a pretty big pocket here. Now, I think it is time for fall rot. We get 10% attack bonus against France. Now, fall rot, historically, well, we'll talk about that next episode. I want to thank everyone who made it this far into the episode. Thanks. If you would like the video, click the like button. And, of course, if you're new here, please subscribe. Love to see you around more often. See you next time for more episodes.